Okay, so over at the koi pond, and we're going to do a little bit of a treatment on this today because the last update I was saying that we had a little bit of a fungal issue. So I done a little bit of a treatment with methylene blue. That was a little while ago. I gave it one dose of that. That's all I had. But what I've been waiting for is my anti-parasite and fungus treatment, which has eventually arrived. So pretty happy about that. So this has been filled back up. This is long enough that the treatment is now kind of done and dusted as far as that methylene blue is concerned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this set up. I'm going to get the lids off. I'm going to start pumping water out. I'm going to do a water change, and then I'm going to add in some of my anti-parasite and fungus. And I'll give these guys another treatment, and hopefully that will help get them sorted. Everything seems to be pretty good so far, but I want to give this a parasite treatment anyway. And this should have been done a couple of weeks ago. It's just unfortunately with the way everything is, my treatment got delivered really late. So let's get stuck in. Let's get this all sorted. You can see the water is a little bit cloudy. There's no kind of fine particulate filter in this at the moment, which is something I'm definitely going to address, because even though we have this just amazing amount of plants in the wetlands bog filter and they're sucking up loads of nutrients, there's just still some fine particles that are making their way out, because I could do it with a little bit more filter media, I think. But yeah, we're gonna work on addressing that when we get rid of all this and do a bit of a job. But just wanted to show you these lids really quickly. Made these because I wanted to be able to remove the net fully. They're made a 4 by 1 1/4, and basically just put the net down. They're so sturdy, in fact, that when I have the two of them side by side, I can walk across them. Super sturdy, and they're kind of designed to kind of lock in nice and tight, so there's no chance of the heron getting underneath them, or anything else for that matter. So super sturdy. But we'll get this last one off. We'll start pumping this water out. We'll get the treatment in. So what I've done is I've just connected. We've got a 100-foot pipe here, and that's going into the forest. Bro, don't eat the koi food. And basically I've just connected that to this 10,000 litre an hour pump down here. So this is going to help empty this out really quickly. And now the final thing that we'll do is we'll come in with the hoover. And we'll get rid of all of the waste that's after building up down the bottom that hasn't gotten sucked out by the filter. I'm going to get the bottom of this pond perfectly clean, and that way we know that there's no nasties living in it. We'll fill it up, and then we'll add our treatment. Won't we, buddy? So get the water down most of the way now, and I'm still doing my bit of pond hoover. I want to make sure that this is completely clean. And so I'm getting in, and I'm making sure I'm getting out all of the waste, absolutely everything. Now clearly I'm not going to get everything out of the wetlands bog filter, but we've got these massive plants in here that'll handle all that. So I'm just making sure anything that's in here is gone. These guys don't seem to mind either. Okay, so we're after doing a ton of hoovering there now. I had water constantly going in as I was hoovering, so the water level didn't drop to a point where the fish didn't have enough water. But we've done a big job on it there now. Got up all the waste. Anything that's being produced is going to be produced, but there was nothing in there left that I could see, so gave everything a really good going over. Now what I wanted to show you actually was, in fact, this guy here, the sturgeon. So the sturgeon, I picked him up back in September, I believe, about 6 inches long. You can see him there, he's just chilling out. He gets right in the middle of all these big huge koi. Now these are big koi. You see this one here is a little bit skinny. We're going to want to get that fattened up. It's funny how some of them over the winter their metabolisms burn higher, and they just tend to lose a bit of weight. And that wasn't my fish, that was a rescue, so it may have got fed over the winter before, so it might have been used to getting fed over the winter. Anyway, this guy here is an absolute monster. If I can get any close-ups, I certainly will. He was 50 centimeters when I put him in here, and I can't get over how quickly he's grown. Absolutely phenomenal growth rate. What I'm doing is I've just moved the pump slightly. I had it down here, but I'm moving it over here. This is where I find sediment in the pond tends to settle. So rather than kind of catching it on the loop, I'm going to catch it where it settles. We do still have our other pump, which is just up here, which catches stuff just at the end of its journey. before it breaks its way around the pond again. And that one there is going up. It's buried underneath the wetlands bog filter, which goes down all the way to the bottom, zigzags back and forth. And that one the same. Now we're going to work on this and get all the pipes nice and tasty and get them all sorted and hidden away after we do our bit of an extension. Pond hoover. This is super handy actually. This is, what is it? Pondtech Pondomatic. Relatively cheap one. Picked up on Amazon. You just have to have it up above the water level, which is why I have it up there. A little bit more difficult using them on raised ponds. But luckily enough we've got this earth bank here. And then we have our outlet and it comes out, and I'm just letting that feed some of the plants there now at the moment. But yeah, the sturgeon, I'm just so impressed with just how big he's after getting so quickly. Fastest growth rate of any fish that I've ever had. Absolutely without a doubt. Other guys who we have in here, this one here picked up a big injury. So when things kind of kicked off and started kind of, the reason why we're doing all the treatments and stuff is, my dad was painting the house and he covered, or the B&B here, he covered over the entire pond, but what he done was he actually knocked out the filter. And when I came over the next day to check on these guys, as I usually do around lunchtime, they were sitting in a couple of inches of water, an awful lot less than what's there. So they were after kind of getting roughed up a little bit. Absolute accident, these things can happen. But a couple of the fish were a little bit sore looking. Where is she gone? There, over there. So maybe we can see her back is just a little bit red back there. That was a big fungal infection. Kicked in really, really quickly. Another couple of fish got some knocks as well. Godzuki, big golden one there with the zipper on her back. A little bit red along the side still. This boy is dying to play ball. Okay, we'll kick the ball. Well, we won't kick it. I'm just going to throw it for you. Hang on. Yeah, so we had a couple of issues there, kind of kicked in quite quickly. Once that happened, and look, accidents happen. It just can take a little while to get back on top of things. While the water level is down, actually, these guys are just taking some refuge underneath here. Give you a quick look at some of the guys who can be a little bit more difficult to see when the pond is full. So we have a beautiful, we've got long-finned jet black goldfish, and he is a stunner, absolute stunner. He'd be coming up a foot long now. Big fish, absolutely gorgeous, but really hard to see normally. Look at those fins, stunning. Right, so we're just topping it back up now. I've added my prime, and we're going to let this fill up slowly. The fish are they're all in good form actually. They've been carrying on scandalous. The boys have been chasing the girls. This red and white one here, this guy he's the maddest fish in the pond, without a doubt. He's jumping up out of water, having a great time. Where is she gone? One of this lady here, where's she gone? There's getting an awful time off. Yep, there we go. That big black goldfish is constantly badgering her. He's mad for her. He's chasing around the pond. Poor Godzuki there's she's looking a bit sad. She was after being getting chased there, and I think she got a little bit of a beating. But the rest of them are all doing really good. So this is what we're going to treat with now. We're going to go anti-parasite and fungus. It's all fish safe. That guy there, you have to be careful about him, the sturgeon, because what's going to happen is pretty much all your medications are going to remove oxygen from the water. Most of them will anyway. And sturgeons require a much higher oxygen rate than, or an oxygen concentration or saturation level than your goldfish or your koi do. So they'll die from suffocation long before the rest of the guys have any issues. Now, we have a serious amount of oxygenation in this pond. Oxygen saturation levels, I monitor those, always really high. We do have some air pumps going on here as well, but this whole setup here is designed to add tons of oxygen back into the water before it hits the pond. And then when it hits the pond, you can see it's churning up bubbles. Now I know that we have a other bit of water going here, but it's actually a pretty slow rate. Yeah, creates a lot of oxygenation. Those Theoryukin are doing fantastic. The reason they're in here is because they beat up my pearl scale females. They actually killed 3 pearl scales on me over the course of a couple of mornings. That was a long time ago, well over a year ago. So they got moved in with the boys in here, where they can do no harm, and they done super over the winter, no issues whatsoever out here on the pond. Done as good as everybody else. So, but the sturgeon anyway, we need to make sure that it needs to be safe for the sturgeon. Now, the main chemical ingredients in this are, there we go, malachite green and formaldehyde. There are 2 ingredients, and this guy here is designed to treat parasites and fungus. Really, that's the main thing. So it's going to be something worth doing. It'd be part of a prophylactic treatment I would have been doing anyway. But unfortunately, we do have that little bit of fungus that is persistent on 1 or 2 of the fish. So we want to get that gone. So let's eradicate it. And yeah, I'm going to start adding that now. So what this is saying is the dosage rates are 10 ml for 200 gallons now, and apply daily for 5 days. I am going to not use quite that much. The reason being is because that's sturgeon. I'm going to just decrease the dosage rate just by a small amount, maybe 20-30%, just to be on the safe side, and it should be fine. Like that, they've already had a treatment for fungus, so yeah, should be absolutely fine at that slightly lower dosage rate. So I'm going to get that set up, get it in, and wait till you see the colour of the water goes. It's going to go crazy. Now, I'm putting it in now before the pond fills up, just because I want to see what way the fish react to it, and make sure that the sturgeon's okay and that nobody's having any issues. And yeah, it's a very small volume of water to pump out if needs be, if there's any adverse reactions to it, but should be fine. This stuff usually there's no issues with. So let's get this in, get these fish treated. Okay, so she's in now, and you can see the water is, oh, it's got a funny colour, alright. Now, the stain in this is interesting. This will go a really kind of deep, strong colour initially, and goodness, they are giving that poor koi a hard time. She's getting an awful time. So it'll look really strongly coloured, bluey green, for the next kind of few hours. By tomorrow, you won't notice it as much. Kind of a little bit of a stain to the water. 2 or 3 days, that'll be gone. Now that said, this is a 5-day treatment, so I will be dosing this again every day for the next, it'll be 5 days treatment, and hopefully, and then what we'll do is we won't take any water out or do any changes or medication for about 10 days. But yeah, we'll leave that there. We'll let it fill up, and we'll check back in on these guys again over the next couple of days. Hopefully they're all good. But that's it, guys. I'm going to fill this up, wrap it up there. Talk to you later. Bye.